Hi everybody, Stephen D here. As always, unscripted, talking just off the top of my head. Saw today that Harry Reid is extremely upset, and many other Democrats. This recent revelation that, gosh, there's more emails out there that may, have something to do with Hillary Clinton's former investigation by the FBI, the one that got shut down by the FBI director himself because he said no reasonable prosecutor would prosecute somebody like Clinton, even though they prosecute people all the time for doing the same thing that she did, taking classified information, removing it from safe government depositories and putting it on our own server, or putting it in our own home. Well, he's upset. He's mad. He's saying now that the FBI is, violating the Hatch Act. That is, deliberately trying to influence the election by disclosing this new information. The discovery of all these additional emails on Huma Abedin's husband's, Mr. Weiner. I love that name. Laptop. Hundreds of thousands of emails that might be relevant not only to investigations into, classified information that may have been kept on Hillary Clinton's server, but also to violations of, pay-to-play criminal activities by the Clinton Foundation. And so he's now claiming that this is that Comey, the guy that they were all happy with when he refused to indict Hillary Clinton and gave, her people special favors, special immunity, even promised to destroy their laptops with evidence on them. Now he's mad at Mr. Comey. Says Mr. Comey not only is violating the Hatch Act, but that he is withholding evidence of a Trump-Putin connection. He doesn't say what evidence, just that he's withholding evidence. And I have to laugh. I do. I mean, it's either that or cry. I mean, these are the same people that had no problem when the New York Times published its story showing that the Clinton Foundation benefited when, Hillary Clinton's State Department approved, the sale of, large percentage of the U.S. uranium reserves to a Russian corporation. The same group that allowed, Bill Clinton, to give a speech and get paid for it by a Russian bank. Trump-Putin connections. We don't know what they are, but clearly the FBI is withholding those. But, the New York Times has already published stuff that show clear connections between the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation and the Russians. And don't say a word. Don't say a word about that. This whole election reminds me of the fall of the Roman Republic. It really does. You have a candidate in Hillary Clinton who has committed crimes, in my view, crimes while she was in office that other people would have been, indicted and convicted of, and probably is guilty of other crimes involving donations to the Clinton Foundation and monies contributed to, Bill Clinton for his, quote, speeches, as revealed in the banned memorandum that recently came out. It's disclosed in the Podesta emails. And yet, she has to become president. She does. because that's the only way she can shut down these FBI investigations. Um, it reminds me of Caesar when he came back from the wars in Gaul and was fearful that his opponents in the Senate would try him for illegal actions taken while he had been the consul of Rome, essentially the executive power of Rome in 59 BCE, and had also committed war crimes, which violated the Roman constitution by fostering an aggressive war in Gaul that killed millions of people. Sound familiar? And he had to become consul. And when it became clear that when he came back to Rome, when he was going to lay down his proconsulate powers and expose himself, he had to know that he would be elected consul so that he could, give himself immunity, protect himself. Hillary Clinton has to win this election because that's the only way she can shut down these investigations by the FBI. I mean, she already has the Obama administration, as we've learned by the Wall Street Journal articles released today, trying to intimidate the FBI by having the Department of Justice, people pester and suggest that there should be no further investigations into the Clinton Foundation and its pay-to-play scandals. So Clinton has to win, just like Caesar did. And what's the first thing that is likely to happen when Clinton becomes elected? Well, Republicans, if they hold a majority in the House, are likely to try to begin impeachment proceedings. And to distract us all from that, it's quite likely that Hillary Clinton, as she's been promising all along during her campaign, will escalate the fighting in Syria and will escalate the risk of war with Russia by implementing a no-fly zone, which in private she told her own donors and the business elites that came to her speeches would end up, killing thousands of innocent Syrians. But, what's a few more dead Muslims in a faraway country, right? Hillary Clinton? They don't matter. Just like all those poor little immigrants from Honduras, children who came here and needed to be sent back to teach their parents a lesson after you helped install a dictator that has led to massive violence, massacres of innocent people in that country. Yeah, you're responsible for that. Much as you're responsible for what happened in Libya when you decide to destroy, admittedly, a terrible regime, but not a regime, but a stable regime. A regime where thousands of people were not dying every day, and now they are because Libya is in chaos. There is no real leadership there, thanks to you taking down that regime. Much like you're pushing President Obama to become more aggressive in Syria, and look where that's gotten us, right? We have more people on the ground now, special forces. We don't even know how many special forces might be involved in the operations in Syria. But we do know we're supplying weapons to a group that was formerly the official Al-Qaeda subsidiary in Syria. They just changed their name. Now they're the good guys, right? The moderate rebels, because they're not ISIS. So this is why Hillary Clinton needs to win this election. She can't afford to allow herself and her family, her husband, and the Clinton Foundation, and all of her friends that are connected with it, to be prosecuted for these likely crimes of pay-to-play in which favors were given to, Russian banks, Russian companies, among others, not to count, fossil fuel companies, pharmaceutical companies, telecom companies. It's amazing. You go down the list of the people who donated to the Clinton Foundation, or who gave, who had paid bill for speeches, who got access to Hillary Clinton when she was Secretary of State. There's even been disclosures on WikiLeaks that people that were designated as FOBs, Friends of Bill, were given special and immediate access, or greater access. And when the crisis in Haiti hit, Friends of Bill, got to speak to, expedited access to the State Department as to what they could do to help in Haiti, and foster their own nest with, our money, our tax dollars. And in the end, didn't do very much to help Haiti at all, did they? So she can't afford to let all this shit come down on her if she loses. So we're seeing the entire Democratic Party now claim that the FBI director, the guy they were so happy about when he chose not to, recommend an indictment and take Attorney General Lynch off the hook, now they're all mad at him for doing what he should have done a long time ago, indicting Hillary Clinton, or recommending an indictment for violating the very same laws that they prosecute and indict people, lesser people than Hillary Clinton, of course, all the damn time. So, as I say, here we are, the fall of the American Republic. When Hillary Clinton gets elected, we're going to see it, the empire's fangs come out. There won't, we already know there's no republic, to be honest with you. I mean, our votes don't count, our votes don't matter. Anybody who is a Sanders supporter knows that the Clinton campaign, the DNC, and just about every major Democratic official, elected official across the country, did their damnedest to make certain that Bernie Sanders would not win, as revealed again in the WikiLeaks disclosures. But we already knew that. The evidence was out there. The reports of voter suppression, illegal help to the Clinton campaign, very dodgy and sleazy tactics to get the media to issue reports slamming Bernie Sanders as a racist, as misogynist, lying about his past, as somebody who would destroy Obamacare. All this crap that they did. Well, now they have to stand behind Clinton, because if she goes down, the Democratic Party goes down too. Because if Clinton doesn't win, you think a lot of those Democratic candidates are going to win, that they're hoping they're going to win to take back the Senate, if not the House? Probably not. So here we see what we are. An oligarchy. The people that have chosen Hillary Clinton, the billionaire class, as Bernie Sanders calls them, or the economic royalists and money power, as a former great president of ours, Delano Roosevelt, once called them back in his day, have chosen Hillary Clinton. They put all the money on her. You think they're going to let our votes count? They're going to do their damnedest not to let them count. And I don't care who you are, whether you support Trump, who I do not, whether you support Gary Johnson or Jill Stein, or whether you even support Hillary Clinton after all this crap has come down. I, I do not foresee a good end to this, regardless of whether she's elected or not. A good end, and I mean a good end for the people of the United States. Because Hillary Clinton has shown throughout her career, as has Bill Clinton, that the interests of the American people don't matter at all to them. What matters to them is their own power, their own, ability to control events, their own ability to make money for themselves and their friends. That's all. Just like Julius Caesar back in the day. Well, that's all I got to say today. Be seeing you when I see you. Signing off, Stephen D.